the darkness in the mirror. Daniel was passionate about collecting antiques. He often traveled far and wide to find unique items. And one day, while stepping into a small antique shop hidden in a secluded alley, he discovered a large mirror with a wooden frame intricately carved with bizarre patterns. The mirror looked old, its surface slightly blurred but still reflecting images clearly. When Daniel asked about it, the shop owner, a frail old man with deep-set eyes, stared at him for a long moment before speaking in a hoarse voice. "Are you sure? This mirror used to belong to someone who disappeared years ago." Daniel chuckled, dismissing the eerie warning. He paid for the mirror and brought it home, placing it in his bedroom. But from that night on, strange things began to happen. At first, Daniel felt uneasy every time he looked into the mirror. His reflection seemed to lag slightly, just a tiny delay, but noticeable enough to send chills down his spine. When he raised his hand, the figure in the mirror did the same, but just a fraction of a second too late. Then came the nightmares. Daniel dreamed of standing before the mirror, but instead of seeing his own reflection, he saw someone else, a distorted face, deep hollow eyes, and a grin stretching unnaturally wide. One night, Daniel woke up abruptly, feeling as though he was being watched. He turned toward the mirror. In the dim glow of the streetlights filtering into his room, he saw that his reflection was no longer him. It was something else, a tall, thin figure with hollow black eyes and a twisted grin. Panicked, Daniel spun around, but behind him there was nothing. He turned back to the mirror, and this time, the figure in the reflection had moved closer, so close that it seemed to be just a breath away. Suddenly, the figure in the mirror lifted a hand and knocked on the glass from the inside. Knock, knock, knock. Daniel screamed, turned on the light, and threw a cloth over the mirror. His breath came in ragged gasps, his heart pounding wildly. But even with the mirror covered, he could still hear the faint whispering from behind the fabric. "Don't turn your back. I've waited too long." Then, all at once, the room fell silent. No wind, no whispers, only an eerie, absolute stillness. Daniel slowly lifted his foot, intending to run out of the room, but just as his hand touched a doorknob, a voice whispered directly behind him, "Where do you think you're going?" Daniel froze. His breath caught in his throat. That was not his voice. Slowly, he turned around. The cloth had slipped from the mirror at some point, and the reflection staring back at him was no longer his own, mimicking his movements. It was moving on its own,